Hey, what's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? First of all, let me know, can y'all hear me? That's the first question. Can y'all hear me? This is the first thing I need to know. Can y'all hear me? Okay, because some people okay, good. So it looks like y'all can hear me, man. Somebody was messing with my damn connection here. I don't know what the hell is going on, but I guess y'all can hear me. Okay, good. So y'all can hear me. Let's do it. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Finally. Oh my Lord. Okay. 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 Third time is the charm. Third time is the charm. Okay. First of all, hope you guys had a happy Easter and all of that. But we got a crazy story for y'all. We just actually finished shooting some content, literally. And I was just getting ready to start. We were just getting ready to start editing the videos. Then Mitch sends me over a clip, and I want to give credit where credit is due because he sent it to me from Ticket TV, and Ticket TV was the one that did it. So we want to get into that, but it's about Shannon Sharpe and a serious sexual assault and battery case, and he is being sued for $50 million. But before we get into that, just let me check in. Let me y'all check in and let me know where y'all are coming in from. Let me see what we got coming in here. We got Finland in the building. We're gonna get it going in the next 30 seconds or so. But let me just see where y'all coming in from. Who else? We got Finland, we got South Africa in the building, we got Seychelles in the building. We got St. Louis in the building. Shout out to Chicago. We got Boston in the building. Shout out to the BX Borough. We got Greece, Guyana, Bed-Stuy. Shout out to the Stuy, Brooklyn, Charleston, North Carolina, Compton in the building, OKC, Washington State. I see you, North Carolina, Detroit. Shout out to Detroit, Florida. Somebody said no, not Unk. Kenya in the building. Where else we got? Jersey, Seattle, Long Island. Let's give it 10 more seconds. We're going to get into it. The Bronx, Dallas, Texas in the building. Chi-Town, ATL. I see the Bay Area, Cardi's in Chicago repping. California, David in Ohio, and who else? Let's give a few more. Shout out to Ticket TV, my dude, man. And we got LA and Korea. Okay, and Baltimore. All right, so as I said, I just got the story from Ticket TV, so shout out to him because he's the one that broke the story. At least that's how I saw it. So we got a serious report here. We got multiple sources reporting this. We got TMZ, the Daily Mail, and we got NBC Sports. So NBC Sports is saying, let me see if I can pin this in the comment section. Let me see if I can post this in the comment section. Okay, I can post this so y'all can read it after. No, let me see. Hold on, let me see. All right, I'm not sure if I can do that right now, but anyway, is being sued for assault. Okay, it says Shannon Sharpe is being sued for sexual assault and battery. Let me see. It says Hall of Fame tight end Shannon Sharpe has made headlines last week in connection with his pursuit of his 9-figure podcast. This week, he's facing an 8-figure lawsuit. Sharpe was sued on Sunday by a woman proceeding under the name Jane Doe. The 13-page civil lawsuit filed in Nevada State Court alleges that Sharpe committed assault, sexual assault, battery, and sexual battery, and that he engaged in the intentional infliction of emotional distress. The complaint alleges that Shannon Sharpe recorded their sexual activities, something without her knowledge, and that he was sharing the video with others without her permission or knowledge. The complaint contends that it was another woman, not the plaintiff, with whom Sharpe was having sex with when he accidentally live streamed the encounter on Instagram. That was per the complaint, the moment at which the plaintiff began to pull away from Sharpe. The complaint claims that he relentlessly pursued her after he stopped answering her phone or sharing her whereabouts. Folks, this is crazy. Let me see. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. This is crazy. I'm going to read it for y'all again. Hall of Fame tight end Shannon Sharpe made headlines last week week in a connection with the pursuit of a 9-figure podcast deal. This week, he's facing an 8-figure lawsuit. Sharpe was sued on Sunday by a woman proceeding under the Jane Doe pseudonym. The 13-page civil lawsuit filed in a Nevada state court alleges that Sharpe committed assault, sexual assault, battery, and sexual battery, and that he engaged in the intentional infliction of emotional distress. The plaintiff claims that they embarked on a rocky, consensual relationship that lasted nearly 2 years. The complaint alleges that Sharpe recorded their sexual activities, something without her knowledge, and that he was sharing the video with others without her permission or knowledge. The complaint contends that it was another woman, get this, not the plaintiff, with whom Sharpe was having sex when he accidentally live streamed the encounter on Instagram. So let me just read that part. It contends that it was another woman, not the plaintiff, with whom Sharpe was having sex when he accidentally live streamed the encounter on Instagram. That was, per the complaint, the moment at which the plaintiff began to pull away from Sharpe. Let's just break this part down real quick. What this thing is saying right here, and I'm not a lawyer. If there are lawyers in the comments, y'all can do a much better job than I can. It's saying that the complaint alleges, so this is a different person apparently, that Sharpe recorded their sexual activity, something without her knowledge, and he was sharing the video with others without her permission or knowledge. The complaint contends, listen to this part, it was another woman, not this plaintiff, with whom Sharpe was having sex when he accidentally live streamed the encounter on Instagram. So I think this is saying it has nothing to do with that video, if I'm understanding that correctly. If there are more sharper legal minds in the comments, y'all can clear that up for me. That was per the complaint. The moment at which the plaintiff began to pull away from Sharpe. So after that video of that Michelle or whatever went viral, it was at that point the plaintiff in this case, on this lawsuit, began to pull away from Sharpe. The complaint claims that he relentlessly pursued her after she stopped answering her phone or sharing her whereabouts. The complaint contends that Sharpe confronted the plaintiff in October 2024 after she had commenced efforts to separate from him. The complaint details the ensuing encounter, which culminated in allegedly forcible sex against her consent. Another alleged incident happened in January of 2025. The complaint alleges that Sharpe engaged in unprotected sex with the plaintiff, despite her efforts to get either to stop or wear a condom. From the first page of the lawsuit, a woman can say yes to consensual sex relations with a man 99 times. But when she says no, even once, that means no. Defendant Sharpe, a man who is accustomed to getting what he wants, completely fails to understand the basic concept. After many months of manipulating and controlling the plaintiff, a woman more than 30 years younger than he, and repeatedly threatening to brutally choke and violently slap her, Sharpe refused to accept the answer no and AR'd plaintiff, despite her sobbing and repeated screams of no. The complaint seeks a minimum of $50 million from Sharpe. If and when there is a trial, the recovery, if any, will be determined by a jury based on the evidence and the law. The number can, in theory, be anything. The plaintiff is represented, oh, by the way, by Micah Nash and Tony Busby. Pause the damn live stream. Pause the damn live stream for a second. Pause the live stream. A lot of thoughts are going through my mind right now. First of all, shout out to the 1,300 people we got in the chat. Let's try to get these likes up to 500 likes. I don't know if any of what was said in that excerpt from that lawsuit is true. I don't know anything. This is just a lawsuit, and as far as I'm concerned, that's all it is. Nothing has been proven yet. That is not what we're doing here. We are just reacting to the lawsuit. That's the first part. The second part is they are seeking $50 million in damages or whatever. The question then becomes, and I got to ask this question as this information is coming out for me and for many people. Why now? Why now? Well, let me give you guys some information. Maybe some of you don't know. Just this Saturday, Front Office Sports released a publication that said that Shannon Sharpe's media deal was due to expire with the Volume Network. And he is reported up for a possibility of getting a $100 million contract. So what we do know is that there is money in the air. And whenever there's money in the air, there are vultures everywhere. I'm not saying that's what's happening here. I'm just thinking about it coincidentally. Because for you to sue somebody for $50 million, you got to at least think they got it. You don't go around suing people for money that they can't pay you. So to sue for 50, and you just heard this dude is in place to get 100, that kind of makes sense. Now, the final part that gave me cause to pause is the last part of this lawsuit or this article where it says the plaintiff is represented by Micah Nash and Tony Busby. Busby rose to prominence in NFL circles via the representation of more than 20 plaintiffs who sued quarterback Deshaun Watson starting in early in 2021. Now, why does this give me cause to pause, the Tony Busby part? Well, if any of you have been following the Diddy trial that somehow Jay-Z got pulled into, Tony Busby was the same lawyer that established a hotline for people to call in to say that they were molested or whatever it was by Diddy. It was the same Tony Busby that tried to drag Jay-Z, into a lawsuit and try to connect Jay-Z to the scene of the crime allegedly in which Diddy was being accused of. Then Jay-Z came out forcibly and said, I'm not paying you a damn thing. This is a money grab. And you're not getting nothing. You're just a lawyer that's trying to get money from people. Jay-Z's defense responds. The plaintiff in that case ends up saying that Jay-Z wasn't there. And it turns out that Tony Busby didn't even vet the person that was accusing Jay-Z. He called him an ambulance chaser. So we find out that never happened. Now, why is this important? It's important because it goes into question where we now have to question the credibility of the lawyer. We also have to question the timing. Again, it was on Saturday that we reported that Shannon Sharpe was slated to get an extension with the Volume Network or whatever for $100 million. $100 million. And then we now hear that Tony Busby, and I didn't know this up until reading this NBC report, that Busby rose to prominence in NFL circles via the representation of more than 20 plaintiffs who sued quarterback Deshaun Watson. So Tony Busby seems to have a checkered past. I'm not saying this woman is lying, by the way. I haven't even gone through the 13-page lawsuit. I'm not saying that. What I'm giving you guys is a raw reaction to the information. I'm not saying that she's lying. No, I'm not saying any of that. But the moment I heard Tony Busby and I heard $50 million and I heard Shannon Sharpe is what is it? in line to get $100 million contract, then I got to think. We got to draw a conclusion here, because we certainly know that Busby was trying to not only get money out of Diddy, he was trying to get money out of Jay-Z. He was trying to shake down two people, and he tried to shake down Jay-Z just by proxy. Oh, well, Jay-Z was there too, so let's get him too. And then they said there was somebody else by the name of B, a woman that looked on by the name of B. So I'm always skeptical when I hear the name Tony Busby. Back to this lawsuit. For the new people coming in, I want to read a little bit of what this lawsuit has to say. It says, Sharpe was sued on Sunday by a woman proceeding under the Jane Doe pseudonym. The 13-page civil law complaint filed in a Nevada state court alleges that Sharpe committed assault, sexual battery, and sexual assault, and that he engaged in the intentional infliction of emotional distress. The plaintiff claims they embarked on a rocky consensual relationship that lasted nearly 2 years. The complaint alleges that Sharpe recorded their sexual activities, something without her knowledge, and that he was sharing the video with others without her permission or knowledge. The complaint contends that it was another woman, not the plaintiff, with whom Sharpe was having sex when he accidentally live streamed the that was the complaint, the moment which the plaintiff began, and for $50 million. $50 million. 50. So, what are my thoughts on this? First of all, I don't know if any of this is true. And I think it will be wrong-headed for anybody to jump to conclusions without the facts. This is just a lawsuit alleging certain things to happen. None of this has been proven. I will say this, however. This is terrible timing. Terrible. Because Shannon Sharpe is getting ready to sign a new deal for reportedly $100 million. He even did a show on his podcast, Nightcap, talking about it. So to me, this is unfortunate. I pray that these allegations are not true. And I hope that this is just, something that goes away. He published a show on his channel. I'm trying to see. Hold on. He talked about it. I'm trying to see the show where he talked about it. I know he talked about it recently. I'm just trying to see where it is. Anyway, I can't find it, but I think he talked about it. I just hope this is not true. I really hope it's not true, because to be honest with you, man, I think that this would be a ridiculous way for Shannon Sharpe's name to be tainted. The guy works hard. He works hard. And I don't agree with his basketball takes when it comes to the GOAT. I don't agree with that at all. But he works hard. And you can tell that he takes his job seriously. So for this to happen, and based off of everything I've heard from Shannon Sharpe, he seems to be a very careful person. But then again, and I'm going to say this. Some people got mad at me, but I'm going to say it. You remember when that video came out of that accidental video leak or whatever the F that was? And then we all tuned in. Shannon Sharpe had over 160,000 viewers watching him live on YouTube. Over 160,000 people were watching him. And I tuned in. I tuned in, and at the beginning of the live, they were promoting some type of sex product. And I was watching this and I'm saying to myself, I'm confused. I'm confused. Why are they marketing a sex product over a scandal like this? I'm confused. And why is it that the image that they posted on the Instagram, the Shannon Sharpe or Nightcap, whatever their Instagram account, had that same product on the bed? I'm confused. And I'm like, are they using this as a way to sell a product? Are they using this as a way to sell a product? And then the live starts, and instead of him feeling sad and I'm wrong and this and this and this, he was bragging about it. He was bragging about it. And I'm like, wait a minute. I thought you feel sorry. I thought you said this is a mistake. So how are you going to be bragging about something that's a mistake? People got on me. Oh, you hating on Shannon Sharpe. You hating on the brother and da-da-da-da-da-da. It was after that incident I said I cannot rock with Shannon no more the way I used to, because this is the buffoonery lane. I said Shannon is above this. He's above this kind of nonsense. Why are you being attached to this type of foolishness online? So now what happened is you have a video out there of you having whatever hoo-ha time with somebody named Michelle, and now you open up yourself to nonsense like this because they're using that case, that situation, and they're tying it into this case. And now it looks like somebody that's sexually promiscuous and goes out there and does all kind of crazy things. That's the picture that they're painting. The very video that went viral is now they're using that as a video to paint him in a certain way. And I'm not saying he did it, and I don't believe any of this because it's just being alleged. But this is what happens when you connect yourself to the foolishness. It was unnecessary. How much did Shannon Sharpe make from that sponsor? Did he really need it? Did you need that press? Even Cameron and all of them. Cameron was like, yo, son, you was looking to go viral. We all tried to do the test. Like, how you mistakenly go viral while you getting it in? How you do that? How you getting it in? And you really sounded like you was into the moment from the part we heard, but yet your phone mistakenly went live. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? How you got your phone in your hand in a moment like that? I'm lost. So people started hearing that story and they're like, yo, this is crazy. The thing seems set up. And you're like, no, man, it's a mistake. How was it a mistake? But they thought it was funny. And some people were cheering him on. Nah, man, you know, you got to have a sense of humor. No. And I'm like, Shannon is too big for this. He works on ESPN. Do y'all know who owns ESPN? It's Disney. It's Disney. Now you got this kind of foolishness being circulating out there. And now when people tune in, they're obviously going to be thinking about this. So to me, man, I don't believe this because I don't know if any of this is true. I pray it is not true. But damn. Damn. How like, and then you hear the parts in this story about the stuff that they were saying, and then you hear now Tony Busby. Tony Busby's name comes in, and all of a sudden I think of an ambulance chaser. Tony Busby is the guy that tried to extort Jay-Z. He tried to extort Jay-Z. And what he thought, Jay-Z, because he didn't want the public shame on his name, he thought Jay-Z was just going to give him the money. Why do you think half of the people are suing Diddy? I'm sure some of them are suing him because something happened, for sure. But the other people are suing him because they're looking for moolah. Tony Busby is being countersued by Jay-Z for $20 million in damages, in case y'all don't know. Tony Busby is being countersued. Jay-Z said because of this frivolous lawsuit, he lost a contract of $20 million. So Busby gonna have to make that back for him. He gonna have to make that back. I'm gonna read the story one more time and I'm gonna let y'all go. Basically, Shannon Sharpe is being sued for sexual assault and battery. It's not by the person in that Michelle video. It's not her. The person that's suing him is saying that when that video came out, she began to pull away from him. She is also alleging that Shannon Sharpe was sharing videos of them having sex to other people without her consent. And they're seeking $50 million. $50 million. Somebody said fake news. Charles, you got women 10, bro. I can't even deal, bro. Whatever. I can't deal with you. I can't deal with these dudes. 50 million. And I think the only reason they asking for 50 million is because of that news of that $100 million contract. That's why sometimes when you get some money, you need to shut the hell up. Let's just use this as a cautionary tale. If you come into a bag, shut your mouth. If somebody give you a bag or you make a bag, keep your bloody mouth closed. Stop announcing to the world that you got some damn money because you're making yourself a target. I'm just using this situation as an example. It's not every time you get some money, you got to announce to the world that you got some money. If you're going to go buy a Rolex, go buy a Rolex and let that be that. If you want to go buy yourself a house, go buy yourself a house and let that be that. Stop letting people know every time you got some damn money. You're making yourself a target by doing that. Let me see. Shannon Sharpe should have stayed with the boy, a.k.a. Booth. Appreciate Super Chat. Shout out to God Family USA. Shout out to you, man. So it's just a damn shame. I hope this is not true. I hope this is not true because it would just be so messy. I hope this is not true. But a lot of people going to talk about this one. A lot of people going to talk about this one. And this is not good publicity. Just like that sex audio, video, whatever it was, people thought that was good publicity. No, it wasn't. Because this woman is now connecting that sex video and saying that she's basically painting Shannon Sharpe as a reckless person. She's saying, listen carefully, the lawsuit said that he was sharing videos of their sexual encounters without her permission. Without her permission. Then you have real life evidence of dude posting a video by mistake online that's a sex video. So what that says is he's careless. He's careless. That's what it's. That's the picture they're painting. So that foolishness that took place, they're using it as a way to get to say that this guy, look, he's known for doing stuff like this. Let me see what it says. Nope. If he did videotape and send it for real, is it legit? I must respect. I don't know. I don't know if any of this is true. I don't know if any of this is true. What I do know is that day after that video leaked and he went live and there were 160,000 people watching, and I was one of them. What I do know was I remember sitting there watching Shannon Sharpe at the beginning of that live, a pre-recorded video of a sex product that they were marketing before the live started. I do remember during the live, son reached in his back pocket and pulled out that sex product and was talking about, I'm always ready. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, hey, yo, hold up. Ain't this supposed to be an apology video? Ain't you supposed to be up here apologizing for this mistake? Why are you bragging? Why are you bragging if it was a mistake? And it was from that moment. I texted Marcellus Wiley and I told him I used to really like Shannon Sharpe. Now he done turned into the damn Kim Kardashian of sports media. That's what I told him. I said I used to be a huge supporter of his, but this is some Kim Kardashian. Not that's what I told him. That's what I told him. I said Shannon Sharpe is above this. It's above this. It's above. He's above. You're too big for this. He's too big for this. So I don't know if any of this is true. It is all 100% alleged. I have some questions about this case, especially hearing Tony Busby's name, because he's a certified ambulance chaser. And he just tried to shake down Jay-Z, and now he gonna pay the price for it because Jay-Z gonna try to bankrupt his ass. Jay-Z already said he cost him a $20 million contract. $20 million. And then Shannon Sharpe, 2 days after announcing, or the news came out by Front Office Sports, that he's in line for a $100 million extension with the Volume Network, this drops. And now they're suing him for $50 million. How you going to sue somebody for money you don't think they got? They suing Shannon for 50 because they saw that 100. That's what I think, allegedly. That's what I think, allegedly, is happening. That's what I think. You know he got 100 million on the way. So let's ask for 50 because you know he got it coming. This is being reported all over the internet. TMZ, The Times, Daily Mail. And the words that some of these other reports are using, they're using the R word. They're not even using assault. They're using the R word. The R word, not even assault. They're taking it further. Do you know how serious that is? Plus, don't run away from me. I got you here. Take it. It was not making love. It was destroying somebody. Appreciate the super chat. You know how serious that is? And then there's an incident of you posting a video or mistakenly going live with some lady named Michelle. Like that's already out there. I told y'all. This is what that ratchet shit gets you. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. This is a stupid prize. There's certain people you can't accuse of this kind of nonsense. You can't, because they'll be like, that's impossible. That's impossible. So-and-so would never do that. But when you start going into that ratchet lane and, let's get ratchet with this, what happens? You open up yourself to nonsense like this. Son, the video is already online of son having sex with somebody. It's already online. And she is saying that this dude, apart from R-ing her multiple times, allegedly in this lawsuit, she's saying that he shared sexual encounters of them, videos of them, without her consent. And what do we know from that Michelle story? We know Shannon got a phone in the room when he getting down. We know that for a fact. So the picture's already been painted. Now, I don't know if it's true. I don't know any of that. All I know is that this is a damn shame. And Shannon is too big. He's too big to be connected to nonsense like this. So anyway, guys, these are my thoughts on it. We'll keep you guys updated if more information comes out about it. But for now, this is what we got for y'all. Hopefully none of this is true that Shannon Sharpe is being accused of, because I don't want to believe any of this, because some of these things that are being alleged in this 13-page lawsuit are gruesome. They are gruesome. And in the world we live in, whenever you have a woman alleging that so-and-so thing happened and she was taken advantage of by a man, you are already being looked at with a side eye. That is the reality of life. Is it right? Is it wrong? Is irrelevant. That's the reality. That's the reality here. It's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It really is. Let me say, let's see if he addresses it on Nightcap. I don't know. This is a very serious legal matter. This is a very serious legal matter. I don't even think it's wise to go up on Nightcap before you have some counsel. This is serious. You can't just go up on Nightcap and freestyle it. This is serious. If I'm him, I would address this when I've had some serious legal counsel and I know what the hell to say before I go out there. And for damn sure, I wouldn't even have my partner up there with me. This is a serious issue. Now, it's also important to say he doesn't have to address it. He doesn't have to, because what flew under the radar is that, you remember that lawsuit with Joy Taylor, Skip Bayless, and all of them, and FS1 and Charlie Dixon? That case is being settled. Yep, some of y'all didn't even know that. That case is being settled, and Skip Bayless and none of them, they didn't say a mumbling word about it. So it don't mean that just because this lawsuit has been alleged, you got to say something. The reason Jay-Z said something was because what he was being accused of as it pertains to children, he got so offended as a parent that he said something immediately, and he didn't care because he knew 100% he didn't do it, and it's been proven that he didn't do nothing. So he addressed it, and he's like, to hell with whatever else. I'm addressing this right now, and then we're going to see you in court. But Shannon doesn't have to address nothing. But just know, the longer you go without addressing something, the more people are going to talk about it. Ask Diddy. Ask Diddy. That was Diddy's one of his biggest mistakes. He thought, oh, I'm just going to shut the hell up and let everybody else talk. Well, by you shutting up and you not getting ahead of your story, they defined you. You keeping quiet, they defined you. And by the time Diddy came out, it was too late. They had already come up with no Diddy before he even made a comment. They did no Diddy, and Diddy was still there watching. But other people got in front of it like, nah, we're not gonna have none of that. So this is the story, guys. We'll keep you guys updated if anything changes. Once again, thank you guys for your attention, and we'll catch you guys later. Y'all have a good Monday. Catch y'all later. Peace.